Palms thick and calloused, but the knuckles stayed soft. Always smelling like cocoa butter too. Itai remembered this about his old man. Once his dad had told him he knew the whole of London like the back of his hand. Wasn't possible, Itai thought. London was calm and organised in comparison. There was no way anyone could learn the labyrinth of wrinkled skin on his dad's hands, or pinpoint the exact spot where pink palm turned into brown wrist. He looked at his own hands now, not so different save a few pale scars of their own. Prone to scraps and scrapes himself. Another thing inherited, perhaps. He moved them steadily, gently, snapping dead leaves off the devil's ivy by his kitchen sink. In the window reflection, he caught Josh watching him. "You can't let it cling to the parts that are dead or dying," Itai told him. "Needs to send nutrients to the parts that still have a chance. That's how they thrive." He chucked the brown foliage into the bin and turned to face the boy in his doorway, grinning. "I learnt that growing weed in my ex's basement." He waited for laughter, but the kid was stoic. His arms were crossed, had been since he'd entered the flat. Coat on, hood up still, though Itai had forced him to remove his trainers in the hall. Funny to Itai, the loose toe wiggling through a hole in the sock, hadn't gone unnoticed. "You know how to grow weed?" Itai asked, wiping his hands on the back of his jeans. Josh shrugged, leaned into the doorframe. "So how you selling weed, but you don't know how it grows?" Itai said. "That's silly. That's bad business." He shuffled past, shaking his head at this almost sort of stranger. They had known each other less than a month. "2 secs," he called as he entered the living room. "It's in here somewhere." But where was somewhere? His coffee table was still a mess. He'd removed his dad's cassette tapes from their newspaper wrappings that morning and left the pages splayed carelessly about the place while he inspected the outside of each tape, having no way of playing them, as if the design of the cassettes might somehow hold their secrets. His old man had been something of an audio collector, had hundreds of tapes in total, recorded off the radio or scrounged from the depths of charity shop bins like gold-pan treasures. Itai owed his existence to this, really. 1984, Brockwell Park, springtime. His father playing Bob Marley's Zimbabwe from a boombox on the anniversary of the legend's death. His mother, passing by, 2 weeks new to London, having emigrated from that very same country. She had seen the legend himself at Rough Stadium just a year before his passing. Couldn't help but to share this fact with the stranger. Such an event seemed fated for sure. Not even 3 years later, Itai was born, and while his parents' love for each other faded not long after, the tape collection continued to grow with Itai.